Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Now today guys, I'm going to be bringing you my review results and reactions for Fastlane 2019. Fastlane was a WWE pay-per-view that was held on March 10th, 2019, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio. But guys, let's get into it. Now, my first thoughts on the pay-per-view, I thought it was actually pretty solid. There were a lot of good moments in the pay-per-view. And something to mention here, the, the tag team match was good. At the end of the tag team match, Ricochet showed a lot of good skill, and there was also Shane McMahon turning on The Miz, and honestly, I really liked the show. I thought it was very good. There were a lot of good moments, but there were also some bad moments that we would like to address. So, anyway, guys, let's get into it. Okay, so the first match that we had on the kickoff show was actually supposed to be, I believe, Andrade versus Rey Mysterio, but that got scrapped, and we instead got the New Day versus, the New Day versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. And the winner of this match was the New Day. There wasn't really any, big spots in the match. There wasn't really anything to write home about. But Big E did hit, I think, Rusev with the big ending or whatever. And they got the 3 count, or the midnight hour, the up, down, whatever they call it now. But they did hit him with that, and they got the pinfall on Rusev. And there have been actually reports going around that WWE is going to be set to release, I believe, Rusev and Lana after WrestleMania. So definitely gotta watch out for that. And I think honestly they're booking them now to the point where they're gonna get released. And honestly, it's a darn shame because Rusev Day got over huge, and after he split from Aiden English, it really just didn't make any sense why Aiden English would split. But that's how it ended, and nothing really to write home about. Next match was the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos taking on The Miz and Shane McMahon. Winner of this match was the Usos by a pinfall. They did retain the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And to be completely honest, it was good. I liked this match once again. And, there was a notable spot in the match where where Shane was going to go for a coast-to-coast. Then I believe it was Jimmy Uso came up on the top turnbuckle, threatened to dive right onto The Miz, and then Shane McMahon kicked the Uso, I believe, right below the belt. And at the end of this match, really, The Miz tried to go for a frog splash, but one of the Usos got their knees up, then did a roll up for the 1-2-3. And after the match, The Miz and Shane were not celebrating, but they were kind of going over to George Mizanin, the father. And then as Miz turned his back, Shane McMahon just delivered a massive clothesline to the back of the head, or the back of the neck of The Miz, and just absolutely attacked him. And then he actually attacked George Mizanin too, Miz's father. They attacked him, and honestly, it was executed perfectly. Absolutely perfectly, man. Shane did a great job. He turned heel. It was incredible. WWE really swerved us here because we thought The Miz was going to turn heel on Shane McMahon, but Shane turned heel on Miz. And honestly, I mean, Miz as a babyface is not the best gig for him. He's better as a heel. But you can actually build up sympathy for The Miz via this. And honestly, Shane played the role perfectly. Great execution by Shane McMahon turning on The Miz. And it was really good. I liked it. It was great. Next match was Asuka taking on Mandy Rose for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and obviously Asuka won this. Honestly, looking at it, this match didn't really mean anything. Nothing to write home about in this match. It really was actually one of the worst matches was the worst match on the show. Didn't have any importance. Let's just move on. Next, and honestly, and I gotta say though, it's really upsetting how the WWE doesn't really care about Asuka right now. They're caring about Raw and Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda, and they don't really care about Asuka, which is kind of a darn shame considering the fact that she has the SmackDown Women's Championship, the second biggest women's title, and WWE just does not care for Asuka, which really sucks because Asuka has great talent, and unfortunately, she's just been underutilized, and I don't know, man. I just don't like it. And then we got a segment with the New Day and Vince, and the New Day essentially came in and told Vince that, the fans want Kofi to be in the match for the WWE title. And then Vince McMahon did make the match official. It was going to be a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. He said the match was going to be right now. Kofi came out first, and then it was changed to the Bar taking on Kofi Kingston in a 2-on-1 handicap match, and it's pretty obvious the Bar won this match. And to be completely honest, I thought this was brilliant by WWE. This was a stroke of brilliance. Here's why. WWE, they're going to be building up sympathy for Kofi Kingston. It's like the Daniel Bryan movement. In arenas around the world, or not around the world, in WWE, they're going to be chanting every single time, Kofi, Kofi. And that really kind of builds up the want for Kofi Kingston. And I really like that because WWE, it's just going to make his WrestleMania win much more special if they do book him there. Honestly, I love it, man. It's going to make it way better for Kofi Kingston. It's going to make it a better moment. I like this. I like it a lot. And the Bar do win. Next match was the Boston Hug Connection. Or actually, no, never mind. We got the Raw Tag Team Championship, the Revival taking out Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Aleister Black, and Ricochet. And the winner of this match was the Revival by a pinfall. Now, a really, really good spot this match. What happened was, it was basically the end of the match. Ricochet jumped off the LED pole right onto, I believe it was, I don't know, I forget who it was. I think it was Bobby Roode, jumped off the LED pole. Chad Gable, as Ricochet was doing that, tagged himself in. Then the Shatter Machine, the Revival hit the Shatter Machine on Gable. They got the 1, 2, 3, and the Revival retained the titles. Honestly, this was a smart move by WWE. It wouldn't make any sense to take the titles off them. And that's pretty much it. And honestly, I think they put the titles on the Revival because they don't want them leaving. And I think that's what happened. And yeah. Next match was Samoa Joe taking on Rey Mysterio, Andrade, and R-Truth in a Fatal 4-Way match for the U.S. title. And the winner of this match was Samoa Joe via submission. And this was actually a good match. I liked this a lot. This was a lot of hard-hitting action. Now, originally, I think it was supposed to be Mysterio and Andrade on the kickoff show, but then they moved it to making it a Fatal 4-Way match. Joe retains the title, and Mysterio, what happened was Joe hit the Uranagi on Mysterio because, and then R-Truth and Andrade had to break up Zelina Vega and Carmella because they were having a cat fight. If you don't know ECW, watch ECW because you'll know that moment. But anyway, what's it called? So then basically R-Truth and Andrade break up the pin, and then at the end of the match, Samoa Joe submits Rey Mysterio in a matter of seconds, and Joe is still U.S. champion. Honestly, wouldn't make any sense for them to take the title off Joe, so I felt this was a smart move, and Samoa Joe is still your United States champion. Next match was the women's tag team title match. Boston Hug Connection taking on Nia Jax and Tamina. Winner of this match was Boston Hug Connection, and this victory came in kind of swiftly. This victory came in really, really quickly, and it kind of, well, not quickly, but it came in like at an instant, essentially. It was like, you know, bang, bang, essentially. You got the 1, 2, 3, and really what is talked about is after the match, Nia Jax and Tamina, they basically took out Beth Phoenix, and they also took out Natalya, so possibly setting up a tag match at WrestleMania. I don't know. But what I think WWE did here was they're setting up a tag match for WrestleMania. Nia Jax and Tamina taking on Beth Phoenix and Natalya. Beth Phoenix will be making her in-ring return. Then we're also going to get, Then I think we're going to get, they set it up where it's going to be Trish Stratus and Lita taking on the Boston Hug Connection at Mania for the tag titles. And that's going to try to put Boston Hug Connection over. Or we could see a heel turn by Sasha or Bayley, whatever would work. And honestly, I really like this setup for WrestleMania perfectly, and I really don't have a lot of problems with this match. Next one was the WWE title, possibly the best match on the show. It was Daniel Bryan taking on Mustafa Ali and Kevin Owens. Now, originally it was going to be Kofi Kingston, and Vince did make it a triple threat match, and unfortunately Kofi Kingston was taken out. Then all of a sudden we hear the music of Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali returns at Fastlane in the main, well, not the main event, but he returns in the WWE title match. And honestly, I don't know if this was the best spot move for Mustafa Ali, because people were chanting Kofi. They were trying to hijack the match. And if I'm going to be completely honest, it just, I don't know. This might not have been a great spot to have Mustafa Ali return. And unfortunately, he's the one getting pinned, which is not good. And I think, honestly, WWE should have actually built up Ali a little bit as well in the mid-card before giving him this huge main event push. And if you don't know, originally the gauntlet match that Kofi had, the what's it called? The gauntlet match, the performance was supposed to be for Mustafa Ali, but he got injured and he couldn't compete in the chamber, so he was replaced with Kofi Kingston. But this was not really the best spot for Ali to return here. Hopefully he gets a run in the mid-card, but for right now, Daniel Bryan is still your WWE champion, and I have a feeling Kofi will win it at WrestleMania. And I would actually love to see a heel turn by the New Day at WrestleMania. That would be just the greatest spot to put it in. Next match was Becky Lynch taking on Charlotte Flair, and if Becky won the match, then she would be inserted into the WrestleMania match for the Raw Women's title. And Becky won by disqualification, and honestly, WWE is really overworking the Becky Lynch injury angle. They're really overworking at this point. They should have just stopped with the whole injury thing with her leg being injured. They're just overworking it. They're milking the cow at this point, and it's not really working because it doesn't make Becky look any stronger. It kind of makes her look stupid, and to be completely honest, it doesn't really make her look good. But anyway, back to the match. So, at the end of the match, Ronda Rousey runs in after Charlotte locks in the figure 8, and basically, Ronda attacks Becky in order to ensure that Becky Lynch will, in fact, be in the not in the main event of WrestleMania, but she will be in the Raw Women's title match at Mania. And to be completely honest, this match wasn't anything special, but Becky is inserted, so I guess that's a good thing. Next match was, well, actually, no, this wasn't a match. Elias did his third musical performance of the night, and then Lacey Evans came out, which, by the way, I've said this many times. You can follow me on Twitter, by the way, as well. Got to get that plug in. But, essentially, what happened was Lacey Evans came out, did her little strut thing, and then at the end, or almost at the end of the segment, Randy Orton hits a RKO out of nowhere on Elias, and then AJ Styles hits a phenomenal forearm arm on Orton as he's doing his signature pose, and that's how the segment ended, and it was really, really nice, and I loved it, man. It was great. It was a great segment. Orton hit that RKO beautifully, and then AJ Styles just made great contact with that elbow. Loved it. Final match of the night was The Shield taking on Baron Corbin, McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. This couldn't be more predictable. The winner of this match was The Shield. Couldn't be more predictable because, obviously, same thing at TLC 2017. It was very predictable, and unfortunately, that's just what happened. How they were not going to make The Shield lose if they were going to be returning for one last time. They were not going to be making The Shield lose. And this was a decent match, but if I'm being honest, WWE once again is milking the cow on this Shield thing. I mean, if you gotta be kidding me with this. They've got together and broken up about like 2 or 3 times before this last reunion, or last ride, I should say, which probably Dean Ambrose is gonna stay in WWE now, and the last ride at Fastlane will not really be a big deal anymore. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just it doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel as special as it did when they reunited for the first time in 2017. It doesn't really, it kind of lost its glow, if I'm going to be completely honest. That's just how it is, though. I mean, it kind of lost its glow, and I don't really like it, if I'm honest. I don't really like it. It's not really good, but you know what? It's whatever. And honestly, the image was cool at the end of the match, though. It was, in fact, Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose posing in front of the WrestleMania sign. That was a good moment, but other than that, it really just kind of, I don't know, it just lost its glory to me, and it was pretty much predictable. Overall, this show was good. I have to admit, this show was pretty good. WWE, this is one of the higher-end pay-per-views I think they're going to put on this year, because honestly, there were a lot of great moments in this match. The triple powerbomb by the Shield obviously is going to be a great moment. We got Samoa Joe retaining the U.S. title. We got Ronda Rousey basically putting Becky Lynch in the Raw Women's title match. And honestly, I like it. It's good. WWE, you did a good job on this pay-per-view. Probably going to be one of your higher-end pay-per-views for the year. We don't know, though. We got to see. I mean, it's only March. We still got a lot more pay-per-views left. Anyway, guys, though, I hope you have enjoyed this little video. If you did smash a like, let's try to smash 5 likes. Check out my most recent video in the center of your screen right now. And I will see you guys later. Take care.